Hey everyone, I hope you're doing really good today, and let's talk about node projects. So, node projects and the passive income that they provide are a really hot and popular topic in crypto right now. Knowing what to look for and knowing what red flags to look for as well is really important because it can make the difference between getting into a good project where you're going to make some money versus getting into a project where you're just going to lose all your money. In this video, I'm going to give you my beginners/advanced guide to node projects, how I research them, and what I look for before I invest any of my hard-earned money into any of these projects. Please be aware too that this isn't financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor, so always do your own research and do what's good for you. Typically how a node will work is you'll buy tokens. With those tokens, you'll give them to the protocol. The protocol will give you a node, and then that node is going to pay you passive rewards in the form of the token every single day. Different nodes cost different amount of tokens and different nodes pay out different amounts. When you start to get into nodes, it's inevitable that you're going to hear words like Ponzi, scam, and rug thrown about all over the place. And basically a Ponzi in crypto means a pyramid scheme, whereby older investors get paid by newer investors coming on. All node projects have elements of Ponzonomics because initially, to get the ball rolling with the project and get it set up and running, they need investors to invest money. The trick is, and the elusive goal with node projects so far, is how are they going to make it sustainable? How are they going to make it last longer than just a couple of months? And of course, the other word is scam. But in my opinion, the word scam and rug just gets thrown around way too much because what tends to happen with these projects when they do go south, like with Ring Financial, which is one of the earliest node projects, is that it wasn't necessarily a malicious intent by the developers. What actually happened with Ring is that there was a few errors in their contract, they ended up getting hacked, and the investors lost trust with the project and with the team, so they just withdrew all their profits all the time, creating a lot of selling pressure. So as you can see here, the price of the token just completely plummeted. What I'm getting at here is this wasn't necessarily a rug, this wasn't necessarily a scam, basically it was just human error. So how do you avoid scams and rugs and developers that don't really know what they're doing? Well, you do research. And one of the things you want to do to start doing your own research is just to sort of go through the website and to ask yourself questions. Questions like, well, how much do these nodes even pay? When I buy a node, where does the money go? What is the team in this project? What have they done? How are they doing all this stuff? Basically come up with as many questions as you can and then go through all their documents to try and find answers to these questions. Discord is where you are going to find a lot of this information, and the reason that you want to look at all this stuff is because often the website doesn't give you the full picture of what's actually going on. And here is the white paper for Thor nodes. So a question that I have for Thor is, well, what happens to all the tokens? When I give my Thor tokens to buy a node, where do all those tokens go? And you know what? Actually looking through this white paper, I can't find that information. So now what do? What you do is you come up here to the search bar and you type in tokenomics. And the very first thing gives us an article that shows us the tokenomics. We can see that version 2 of the contract, 65% goes to the rewards pool, 15% goes to the treasury, and so on. What's important with these node projects and what makes them sustainable is the treasury. This is how the project is making its money, and what it does with all the profits from this is it buys back the token in order to keep giving it out as rewards to all of us. Answering these questions is probably going to give you an indication of whether you want to invest in the project or not. Another thing you might see is ROT, which means return of token. What this means is that how long will it take you to get back the amount of tokens you put in to buy the node from the rewards of the node. With red light district nodes, it costs you 20 playmate tokens to buy a node, and they give you 1 playmate per day. So the return of token is 20 days. Some other more advanced things you want to think about when buying a node as well is the AMA, which means Ask Me Anything, which is where members of the community can ask the devs anything. I also highly recommend that you look into security measures of the project. Things like a KYC, which means know your customer. What this is that a few members of the devs or all the devs, they give their information to a third-party company. So it means that if the team was to scam or rug or whatever it was, then the KYC company can go ahead and take any necessary action they need to take, such as alerting the authorities or getting in touch with the devs and saying, hey, what the heck's going on? A multi-signature wallet is also important as well, also known as a multi-sig. And why this is important, because it means it needs several people to authorize any transactions and also check if the liquidity is locked. Liquidity is basically how many tokens are there to buy and sell. And if it's locked, that's a really good thing because it means nobody can run away with all the tokens. And of course, there's how active are the devs on Twitter and Discord? What investments are they investing in? What innovations are they doing? What's their roadmap? What are they thinking about doing for the future? Are they doing NFTs? Are they releasing a game? Are they getting into the metaverse? You know, all this type of stuff. You can just go as deep as you want, basically. But the deeper you go and the more information you get, the much more informed choice you're going to be able to make about whether this is actually a project you do want to invest your hard-earned money into or not. There's no real surefire way to know 100% for certain that a project is going to either make it or not make it. Because you might do all these checks and balances and you might think it's really great, and then you invest in it and maybe the project does do really well for a short amount of time, and then all of a sudden something unexpected happens and the project completely dies, which is what happened to Time Wonderland. Unfortunately, this does happen with projects and there is zero way to be able to predict this. But on the flip side of all of this, there are a lot of projects out there which are doing really well and they are making a lot of people a lot of money. So my friends, have I missed anything? What do you do when you're researching? I'd love to know. Please leave a comment. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.